Hey guys, Dustin here. I was watching some Game Center CX recently, and I was watching the episode with, he was playing Castlevania 3, and of course he was playing the Japanese version. I own that, and I kind of got to wanting to play in it, and I thought I'd make a video of just kind of how I go about doing that, because I don't own a Famicom, although I would actually, I'm really thinking about getting one. They're actually a little cheap on eBay right now, around $60 or so, so that's not too bad. Maybe I'll save up some eBay bucks or something, get some gift cards for Christmas or so forth. But that's not why I'm making this video. I'm showing you the kind of physical hardware hack way of going about playing Famicom games on your American Nintendo. So I opened up I think I had the best luck with Stack Up. That game had each copy that I got had one of the 60 to 70 pin converters on the inside. You'll have to get a security bit to get the screws out. They're on eBay, pretty cheap. You Google like Nintendo security, or yeah, Google Nintendo security bit, and they'll come up. I think they're like $2 or $3, and they should be free shipping because they don't weigh anything at all. They're just like a little screw bit that you get like in those like universal screwdriver kind of cheapo tools. But yeah, this is what it looks like when you open it up, and this right here is the 70 pin portion that actually goes into your system. This is the converter itself, and this is actually the what's inside of a Famicom card. So this is the actual game, Stack Up. So you pull this little guy out right here. And since it comes out this way, you can't actually, I'm trying to work around my microphone here, you can't actually put it in like that. It doesn't actually make contact. So what you have to do is, this converter accepts 60 pins either way. So you just pull it out, turn it over, put it in. And you want to pay attention, this chip right here, you want to pay attention to where it is. So once you flip that over, you can just pop that in, and you want the label of the game and the chip to be on opposite sides. So it's going to look like that. And if you have a top loader, you're pretty much done at this point, because you can just put it in like so. And I'm pretty sure it plays like that. It's been a while since I've used my top loader, because it uses the RF only. It doesn't have any AV outs like you have on the original toaster model. I use my toaster model the most, and since this is actually, it's so small you can't actually put it in your Nintendo like that. I guess you could pop the top off of it, but it seems like a real bad idea playing, you know, with it exposed. But you could probably do some sort of hack if you're really that into it. But for the amount of money, you could probably just import yourself a Famicom, right? But for my toaster, I use a Game Genie. So what I make sure I do is I have the chip up when I put it in the Game Genie, like so. And then you just slide it in and press play. So on Akumajou Densetsu, this game here, it has a bunch of extra hardware which I think messes with the Game Genie. It always has like this garbled kind of look to it. I thought it was like dirty contacts or something. I messed with it a little bit, but if you just press start, it goes right past it. It just, I don't think the hardware inside the cartridge and the hardware inside the Game Genie like to play well with each other. There's also the chips inside Akumajou Densetsu for the extra like music. I think it has extra music channels for improved sound and some extra graphics. You can't really take advantage of those. The American NES hardware doesn't know how to take advantage of those, so you'll only hear like partial sound out of your speakers, and it's a little weird to hear, but it works out okay. And I would actually like to show you some of the differences between this and the American version, but I will warn you, it doesn't like my capture card for some reason. It's kind of to be expected with such a kind of like weird backwards way of going about playing these games. but it does look great on my TV. I will tell you that. So it looks good on your TV. If you're playing it through a POG HD PVR2, which is what I'm doing, the recording kind of looks a little garbagey. So I will warn you on that. But I'm pretty excited about playing, so let's get started. All right, guys, so this is what I was talking about. This is what the screen looks like every time with Castlevania 3. I think there's just some hardware that doesn't talk to each other just right. I also have the 2 Konami YY Worlds and Kid Dracula on Famicom. They don't do this. It's just, this is specific to Akumajou Densetsu. So if you have this game and you see this screen, not a big deal. You just hit start. It goes right to the game. No problem. And again, I want to reiterate that it looks kind of garbage on the capture. It looks fantastic on my TV. So if you don't like the way that the video looks, it's not 100% representative of what it's going to look like on your television. So don't let that dissuade you from trying this. I really need to try this with my top loader through the RF. I can't remember if getting stereo sound out of a Nintendo is even possible. I mean, it's probably like a Google search away in like 5 seconds that I could get the answer. I just haven't done it. But I can't tell if only getting partial sound from Castlevania 3 is because of that, or because the hardware doesn't know how to talk to the Nintendo itself. I'm just going to keep this dagger and end up using it later anyway. It's been a while since I played the American Dracula's Curse, but it seems to me that Trevor moves a little bit faster in the Japanese version. And from what I've heard, you could not rent video games in Japan, even when that was a viable economic possibility. But I'm gonna pause that thought right there. These little gremlin guys that I'm running into, they are one of the differences from the American version. The American version, those are flea men. And I'm assuming they changed those because they look, I don't know, maybe they look demonic or something. I know 80s parents were kind of big on yelling Satanism about stuff, like Michael Jackson's Thriller video. He had to put like a what you call it, like an advisory at the beginning. It says, "Hey, I don't believe in the occult. This isn't, something that I support the occult. It's just a cool video, so chill out." I forgot what I was saying before that. Oh, rentals, yes. You couldn't rent games in Japan So that's why some of them were easier than their American counterparts, because in America, some of the companies made their games difficult, so you couldn't beat them in one rental, and then you would want to buy them afterwards. I heard that anecdotally, I don't know that for certain. We're gonna go. Excuse me. We're gonna go up here into the clock tower and get Grant. This music is pretty fantastic. It's some of the best music in the Castlevania series. I highly recommend Bit Brigade's rendition of it. They put out a CD called Castlevania. And I recommend Bit Brigade just kind of as a blanket statement. But their rendition of this music here is pretty fantastic. Whoops. Hiya. Even his whip animation, I think, is faster. I think when I'm done with this video, I'm going to put in Dracula's Curse and see if I'm right or if I'm just brain dead. I have holy water, and for the most part, I recommend holy water in Castlevania. It'll usually do you pretty good. But I prefer a double axe for the fight with Grant. It makes it real easy. Like, you pretty much just cheese him. You can essentially stun lock him. It's really not a difficult fight to begin with, so it's not necessary, but it's just kind of a time saver. I think where you get the axe and the double shot is right up here. Ooh, that was gonna fall. You want to get the axe first. If you get the double shot first, then it'll cancel when you get the axe. And up ahead there is a dagger. You got to be real careful and make sure you don't get that. But it's in the room directly before the boss fight, so I'll show you guys where it is. Oh, I don't know why I thought I could change his trajectory while he was in the middle of his jump. Yeah, just barely made it. Okay, there it is. That first candle right here. Yeah, see? And again, it's not a hard boss fight, so if you end up getting the dagger accidentally, don't sweat it. You can make your life so much easier if you just go with the axe. Eat it. Make sure we get a good pose. Yeah. It's good. That's a good one. I give it a 4.5 out of 5. Would watch again. Heck yeah, dude. It kind of creeps me out a little that Grant shakes with his left hand. So now we gotta go back down. Yeah, this is one of the, this is my main reason I like the Japanese version over the American version, is because Grant is a badass. He throws knives automatically. That is his attack. Covers the entire screen, he goes pretty fast, and he gets an axe, or a stopwatch. He can stick to surfaces. He jumps super high. He can change trajectory mid-jump. He's awesome. He's awesome. It's basically like playing Rondo of Blood with Maria. Little one-up action. That is one thing. He has weaker defense than Trevor. But he's well, unless you're a dummy like I am, he's usually quick enough to get out of the way of danger before it hits you. But his capacity to climb up walls and stick to things will allow you to skip entire sections of levels. But he can do that in the American version. That's not that different. The big difference with him in the American version is he has like a little shiv that he uses, and it's super weak. And it's garbage. But like, I mean, check this out. He just rain daggers down on enemies. It's so cool. He's such a cool character. I actually recorded this video once before, and my Windows for some reason switched my default recording device to my webcam, so my audio sounded like garbage, so I'm redoing this. It's never done that before. I think it may be because I recorded webcam footage to do the how-to video. Man, when I first rented this game when I was a kid and I got to this part of the level, oh, I died so many times. I don't even know that I made it past this part, all these owls. But that was back when, like, my favorite as a kid was Castlevania 2 because I could actually beat it. It was, I mean, it's pretty much famously known that there's very little repercussion for dying in Castlevania 2, right? You die, you start back right where you died, you get a game over, you start right back where you died. It doesn't really matter. I think there's like story differences, but yeah, I liked the premise of Castlevania 1 and 3. I thought that having a whip as a weapon was super cool, and I loved the monster movie like setup and the gothic environments. But I was not patient enough as a child to play through difficult games. We're going to take the top path. And we're actually going to meet up with Sypha, but we're not going to take her along. Oh, sweet. Double axe. These guys are kind of a pain in the butt. If you played Symphony of the Night, you may recognize them. They're the balloon pots, I think they're called. Don't bother attacking them. Just hop over them because they explode like that. Fortunately, only 4 of those little things can be on the screen at one time, so if you time it right, you can get fewer. These guys look tough, but they're not. Also, I kind of didn't like Castlevania 3 when I was a kid because it didn't star Simon Belmont, and I was like, Simon Belmont was my boy. He's my homeboy, man. I think Castlevania 2 may have been the first game that I ever beat. Balls. Occasionally, Trevor will, or excuse me, Grant will stick to surfaces that you don't need for him to. I do understand why they changed a little bit, maybe why they changed Grant for the American version, because you can see here his ability to attack from anywhere on the screen kind of breaks some of the boss's AI. And I actually, yeah, doing his heck yeah arm gesture. I play very differently between the American and the Japanese version. I use primarily Grant in the Japanese version, as you're seeing here, but in the American version, I rarely use him because he sucks so bad. Like I'll go through an entire stage as Trevor and use Grant only when I can kind of use his speed and jumping ability to kind of get out of the way of some of the different obstacles in the level. I also use him in the Dracula fight because his jump is tall enough to get over the 2 pillars of fire that Dracula first manifests before he uses the 3rd. So I would hit Dracula when I could, and then with Trevor, and then switch to Grant, jump over the pillars of fire, make sure I'm safe, switch back to Trevor. It's kind of tedious, but it works. And the Dracula fight is not something you want to screw around with in Castlevania 3 because you fail during that, you go all the way back to the beginning of the stage. It's not like Castlevania 1. And I think that is regardless of region. I think it does the same thing here in the Akumajou Densetsu. Now, see if I can show you guys something with Grant. Yeah, if you see... Hold on, let me take care of this ghost. If he jumps into a block, he will kind of stick in it. So if you're trying to make it across a gap, I've died plenty of times doing that. So if you have a gap in front of you, you really want to jump and stick to the ceiling and then move to where you're safe and then fall. Because if you try to jump the gap, he will smack his head and you'll die. Whoops. Whoops. Forgot about that ghost. See, even there, he still hit his head a little bit and delayed a bit. Here's a good example of just avoiding entire sections of a level. There'll be another section coming up here where I can do that. I don't know if I can get a triple with him. I assume you can. I don't understand why. I mean, I don't. It doesn't make much sense why they wouldn't let you do it. Just sometimes I get a triple when I hit an item, hit a candle with a sub-weapon. Oh, you can also, with Grant, you can totally jump up into the UI. Throw knives at Trevor's head over there. Here's another boss that you just completely break by not having to do close quarters battle. Because Alucard has a ranged attack, but I don't think it goes all the way across the screen. I think it's like 1/4 of the screen, maybe. I'm so good. I missed that twice. I can't remember what I paid for this game. I think it was like 20. It wasn't super expensive, but if you're one of those people that the only time you buy a video game is if it's like in bulk for $5 at a yard sale, you probably won't want to fork over $20 for a single game, but I think this game is worth it. It's pretty fantastic. So yeah, with Trevor, you have to go down these stairs to the next room and up those stairs. It's kind of difficult, easy to fall and die, or you can just skip it with Grant. Done. Grant showing off. You guys know what to do by now. Assume the position, get into a corner, crouch, throw some knives. And this doesn't work with every fight. It doesn't work in the Dracula fight. If you're familiar at all with that, you'll understand why. And the doppelganger fight, where you have to fight your own doppelganger. After the fight with Death, you can't just kind of sit down. Death himself, I think. Yeah, you can't do that either because you have to dodge his sickles. So you can't just cheese every boss with Grant, but it does make most of them much easier. All right. What are we looking at? I'm about 25 minutes, guys, so I'm going to cut it here. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully this was educational and entertaining. other than that, yeah, just thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next video. Peace.